Hello, everybody.
Hopefully he disconnects when I say it.
We're recording, you fuck.
Oh, I don't really give a shit. What are we supposed to talk about again?
Welcome to Two Retards Arguing About Sports. We might have to change the name, actually, because we're bringing in another guy here. He's testing this out. If it works well, then we'll keep him on. There is a chance it won't work, though, if he destroys the chemistry between me and Dan, of course.
And also, he's slightly too retarded.
Right. He tends to ruin things.
Yeah.
We'll get to see that. So
I don't really want to catch the Down syndrome from him either. I don't know if it's transmissible over Skype, but...
So, Austen, introduce yourself to the one person who might happen to stumble upon this piece of shit.
Say hi to the nice lady, Austen.
Hello. Dan's already cutting off Caleb, and it's been 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, now it's time for you to join the
Yeah, I got nothing to say. Just started.
Alright.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up now, you nigger.
So let's go into topics. We're talking about the championship games last week, of course. The Patriots and Broncos, and the 49ers and Seahawks. So
turn my mic down. That's good.
Alright, so thanks for interrupting for that piece of genius there, Dan.
I think I was yelling. I think other people could hear the things that I was saying, like so.
Alright, so Manning Brady, what did that show you about both quarterbacks that game?
I don't think it really changed the narrative at all. You know what I mean? I think Manning and Brady still go 1-2 no matter what. So it just showed that Manning can maybe win a playoff game and makes people shut up for another year.
Yeah, I don't think it really showed anything either. No matter what happened, I'm still in the Peyton Manning court.
Yeah, no matter what happened to that game, if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, they're gonna shit on him regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
People are saying he's the greatest quarterback ever right now, but that's coming off a win. And the NFL is a lot of what have you done for me lately? Stuff. So
we did learn though that Belichick is maybe the biggest crybaby in the league.
Oh my god, he couldn't even name Wes Welker.
Right, what a fucking pussy. It was one of two things. Either he's just a fucking crybaby, which would be my guess, but he could also be like a super genius, because now the refs are going to be looking for that pick play in the Super Bowl. And maybe it was his thought. Maybe he loves Brady so much, he wants Brady to go ahead of Manning, and he knows a Manning Super Bowl will hurt.
What do you think, the Broncos are going to use that play in the Super Bowl? I think the Seahawks would be more prone to use that play.
Well, the Broncos used that pick play a lot this year.
Yeah. And that'd be good, to take out a guy like Sherman or something.
Yeah.
Not even Ingram, just to set the pick.
Right.
Take him out of the play, that's all you need.
Why don't you just why don't you just bring a shiv to the game and just shank him?
They're on so much.
If you really want to get rid of someone, I mean, they're all thugs anyways.
They're on so much Adderall, they can't even feel it.
Yeah. To me, that game just showed Broncos are the better team, and probably...
Than the Pats?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Much better.
Oh, yeah. The Patriots had so many loopholes. Loopholes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Aqib Talib thing would have been a big deal, but you showed me that stat the other day. What was that stat?
Right, I have it right here. This season, Talib has not been on the field for 27% of the Patriots' snaps.
A significant amount of snaps.
Right. When he's off the field, opposing QBs average a QBR of 40, and when he's on the field, they average a QBR of 56.
Oh.
So QBs have actually been better when he's on the field.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
And also, I want to add, I mean, this has been brought up a million times, but the Patriot offense could only make 3 points in the whole fucking 3 quarters of that game.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're going to score 3 points in 3 quarters, you're not going to beat the Broncos on any day, even if they're playing the worst of their games. So.
All right, let's move on to the Seahawks-Niners game. I think that was a terrific game. Do you think Kaepernick's to blame for those 3 turnovers in a row? Did he cost them the game?
I don't think so, especially that last one. I don't know if it was entirely his fault, because if that pass would have just gone another foot, even less, 3 inches, they would have won the game, and people would have been acclaiming Kaepernick for that pass.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, here's why I don't blame him on that one. That play, he said, was set the entire time to go to Crabtree. He was supposed to. That's the only spot he was going on that play.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
but you don't run a play where you have one option.
Right.
though.
They still had 22 seconds left too.
Yeah,
in a couple
exactly.
timeouts. I don't know why they called that.
A play with just one person you can throw to in that critical of a situation.
Right. It was
It's
weird.
not never smart, and that's just the offensive coordinator, whoever called the plays fault.
And I think he kept them in it with his legs the whole game. I mean, I think without him, they might have been fucked.
I think in the second half, he probably should have ran more. That was also one of the problems.
Yeah, for sure. Because the first, they set the tone with him running the whole time, and then kind of abandoned it in the second. And that's what was dominating.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Kaepernick, they wouldn't even be in the spot in the playoffs anyway. He won their fucking last 2 weeks, so...
Right. And what do you guys think of the Richard Sherman rant? Talking about what we got to talk about. Yeah, it was terrific.
I don't think we're really arguing about anything so far, because I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Incredible. Made sports exciting, you know?
I mean, I was talking to someone, they were like, if you want to see some of that stuff, why don't you watch the WWE?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That it reminded me of old, like, 90s, early 2000s WWE, like the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Like, and that was awesome. Like, he reminds. I could see him going to WrestleMania now.
And
that shit wasn't scripted, you know?
And that's how they talk on the field. Why do you want them to be so watered down where they have to lie about shit and pretend it doesn't happen?
It's a sport where you're supposed to knock the other guy on his ass.
Right.
Like, you want him to say, like, oh yeah, really, like, great game. And they're rivals too. It's not even like. It's not even like it's the Broncos versus Seahawks, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, these two teams play each other twice each season. They hate each other.
Right.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
Hey, if I wasn't such a skinny, unathletic Jew with a gimp leg and I made a play like that in the fucking highest league in the world, I would have gone crazy too.
Yeah.
They're going to the Super Bowl. How's he supposed to feel?
And if you watch the play, he actually went up to say good game to Crabtree at the end, the mic'd up play. Like, it wasn't phony. Like, he actually said good game.
Yeah, but he was kind of being a dick about it.
Did you listen? He's like, hey, good game, man, good game, to the mic'd up shit.
The dickest thing ever. The guy just fucking lost. They just got eliminated from the playoffs like 3 seconds ago.
I watched it, and it
He's
seemed...
all up in his grill.
I watched it seemed sincere to me.
Dan,
What can I tell you?
After every football game, they always go up to each other and say, like...
Yeah, but he did it in such a taunting manner that it's just not cool.
It
Like, if I
wasn't
just
that
lost
bad.
something
Oh.
like that and someone came up to me who I've been having a feud with for the past few weeks or whatever, then I'd be fucking pissed, man.
Mr. Overreaction Dan over here.
Holy...
Fuck.
I wouldn't
Alright,
want to mess with me, man.
let's move on. Let's preview the Super Bowl here. Exciting. Broncos, Seahawks.
Super Bowl, everybody wanted. I think it's the
Super
same.
Bowl, everyone wanted. The only thing that might have been cooler... Only thing that might have been cooler would be Jets Giants at MetLife. But
Yeah.
I think this would be the second coolest Super Bowl we could have
What I
saw.
think's crazy is Eli won his
At-
second Super Bowl in
In
Indy,
Indy, right.
and Manning could win his second in New York. So if that isn't the biggest, like, stop talking about my little brother, I'm the greatest.
Right.
Like,
I don't think anyone says Eli's better than Peyton.
They did. After that second Super Bowl, a lot of people started
Yeah,
talking
because
about
that
it.
was because he was out that whole year, and it's, again, a league of what have you done for me lately. So, of course, there's going to be some retarded people who've gotten like 40 concussions in their career making that argument, but...
And Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
I don't know if Skip Bayless said that, did he?
No, he hates Eli, too, because
Yeah,
he
'cause
beat
beat
Brady
his
twice.
Yeah.
And he always talks about how lucky Eli got, and Brady should have 5 Super Bowls. It's hilarious. Do you guys see Wilson as like the next Manning-type figure in the future of the NFL?
I think he's the future. He's not...
I don't mean as finish as great as Manning, but I mean where he's the best at some point, where he's cream of the crop.
I mean, I think Wilson has some great quarterback poise, but again, out of that whole class, I'm still going to have to go with Luck. Because Luck reminds me, I don't know, it's like Ben Roethlisberger raped Peyton Manning and they had a love child together. But, that's what he reminds me of more.
Like, I think it'll be Luck and Wilson. Like, they'll go 1-2 for this generation of QBs.
So you're already counting Kaepernick out of it?
No, I think Kaepernick will be 3, but I don't think he is as good. I don't know, just Luck has something about him. I mean, you look at him when he's down in games, he can come back. Wilson, like you said, great pocket poise. I find him the most exciting football player because I never know if he's actually going to get sacked.
Right. You know, Russell Wilson, first quarterback in NFL history to start his first 2 seasons with a 100-plus passer rating.
That's crazy.
That's insane. 100-plus in both of his first 2 seasons.
And that's the thing, like, even Luck, even though everybody says how smart he is, he still throws some pretty bad interceptions.
He does.
Where Wilson Wilson seems to already understand how to avoid that.
Right.
But what argument do you have that Wilson's better than Kaepernick that you would put him at a definite 1 or 2? I still don't understand.
Oh no, just right now I just think his decisions are better. Like, just decision making so far. I think Kaepernick's probably better athletically in reality, like he's faster and all.
Oh no, Wilson's pretty fucking athletic.
But Wilson doesn't run like Kaepernick will actually run for yards and touchdowns. I find Wilson, that's a very last resort for him.
To me, Wilson's more consistent and less of a risk taker. That's what I like about him.
Exactly.
And I think that sums it up pretty well, because Kaepernick had some shitty games this year. Wilson was fairly consistent throughout the season. So.
I think Kaepernick's had some bad, like, I also don't think, though, they trust him as much. Like, the offensive coordinator, that they try and run it more and stuff.
Right.
He almost won a Super Bowl in his fucking first season starting.
But if you watch them, they still don't seem to, like, these last couple of games, they really gave him the ball, and he started to show that he could do things. Like, I think this is more a bigger coming out party than last year was for him.
For Wilson, you mean, or
no, Kaepernick.
Okay.
All right, let's talk offense versus defense. I guess it's just what we want to see, high-powered offense. You think we're going to be high-scoring game or low-scoring game, or middle?
Probably middle, like in the 20s.
Right.
I think, because, I mean, Denver has a good defense, too, so I think they'll shut down Wilson pretty well.
A cool thing about the number one offense, number one defense, Manning, is 9-5 against number one defenses in his career, and 8-0 in his last 8 starts versus number one defenses. So should be interesting if he continues that, because he seems recently, at least, to be torching when he plays a number one defense.
I'm trying to think of Payne versus really great defenses. I mean, there was that Bears team in 06 that had a really good defense.
Right.
You have to have a really good defense when fucking Rex Grossman leads you to the Super Bowl. But,
one of the only quarterbacks ever with 0 passer rating and win.
0 passer rating
against Arizona.
That's great.
I love Rex Grossman. Washington should give him a chance.
Do you think cold weather will be a factor in the game for Manning? There's a lot of criticism about him in cold weather.
I think it definitely should. Defenses always step up more in cold weather environments, or if there's rain or the fucking nature decides to take a shit on the party, then defenses usually step up. So.
Watch the Patriots game. Those balls were wobbling half the time. They just seem to find the receiver.
That's what's amazing about fucking Manning.
I know, but night throw and cold though, I do think it gets worse. But I was looking into it, and it sounds like the weather isn't actually going to be that bad. It's going to be cold.
Okay.
Well, they can't know. It's 2 weeks.
Right.
That's also what they said. They can't. But looking at how it's been historically, they're saying that it shouldn't be actually snowy. Really, I mean, it'll be cold, but it shouldn't be. And the thing actually people forget though, when Manning won a Super Bowl, that was rainy. Like that was a wet Super Bowl. They were missing extra points and stuff. So he can win in bad weather. And knowing Manning, he'll actually go practice outside. Like he had Jeff Saturday snapping him wet balls.
But I'd argue that Bears team is a lot worse than this Seattle Seahawks team.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that
all right, let's get our picks in.
This Seattle Seahawks team has a pretty terrifying secondary, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Way to go out on a limb. Denver 23-20. That's what I got.
I try to keep my opinions pretty radical. So. I don't know. I said this to you earlier this week. This was my pick. I'm gonna stick with it for now. But still, I don't feel great saying it. But Denver 31-17.
Wow.
I
Awesome.
got Denver 28-24.
We all have Denver. I had Seattle beginning of the week, but I changed it.
Yeah, I could switch. Even though I have Denver as a 14-point favorite, I think it's going to be either way. One team's going to win by a lot. I don't know if it's going to be that close, to be honest.
All right. Let's talk about MVP. Who's your MVP right now?
For football?
No. NBA. I said, let's
Jeez.
move on to NBA.
You did say that?
I absolutely. You heard it, Austen, right?
God damn it.
I think it's
Austen, these are English words.
it's got to be Kevin Durant right now.
Right.
For sure. I mean, you can maybe, especially with the Heat doing bad, like at the moment in that little slide, you can't really put LeBron in it at the moment. So I think if the season ends today, you go Kevin Durant hands down.
I agree. 31 points per game, shooting over 50%, 7.7 rebounds. He has just been, especially recently, just destroying the league.
This has been a pretty shitty show so far, because I agree with both of you guys.
I will make a case for LeBron, though. I'd still pick Durant, but just to show.
Yeah.
LeBron's been ridiculously efficient this year. 58% he's shooting.
Yeah, but Durant shoots way more jump shots, and he's shooting close to 51%. LeBron gets most of his points from driving inside. I don't know if KD does that as much.
I'm just making a case for
He's more of a
LeBron.
shooter,
Yeah, we
yeah.
all agree it's Durant, but
Kobe might come out of nowhere and at least win second place for all we know.
with that All-Star vote.
With the current state of the NBA.
Right. Yeah, and LeBron's obviously the better defender, but I think we all agree it should be Durant.
Yeah.
I might put Anthony Bennett in there, too, for consideration. My boy Tony Bennett.
All right, so Kobe was voted as a starter into the All-Star game. I think this was a joke.
Well, it wasn't like that year Yao Ming didn't even play a game and he got voted.
Pretty
into the
close.
All-Star.
It's pretty fucking close.
I think Yao Ming actually retired before that season. He got voted into the All-Star game.
Well, we played like 10 games. He had one good game.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I don't see why we can't get rid of fan voting. What does
It's
it?
always
Does it
been
really
like this,
help the
though.
ratings that much to have fans
I
vote?
don't know. I'd rather watch the NBA All-Star game than the fucking Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't think that has anything to do with fan. There's fan voting in the Pro Bowl too. You can take
but
the
they-
fan voting
they
away.
tend to get it right though in the NFL.
Right. It's just ridiculous.
It's notable omissions.
Oh yeah, I know. Like, there's always going to be
Of
some
course.
notable like, but
But
how does Kobe make it? How does
Right.
everyone knows that the fan voting's been a farce. The NBA is not going to do anything about it.
I hate it. It's
apparent. Oh,
stupid.
doesn't baseball have fan voting too?
Yeah, and it's retarded too. Jeter almost made the All-Star game last year without playing a fucking game.
Yeah, see, Jeter reminds me of Kobe kind of. Just the
Right.
guy will play 2 games in a season, but he'll make the All-Star game with the most votes.
Right.
Heard it from here, folks. Austen compared Jeter to a guy who raped several women a few
There's-
years ago.
It was one, and there's been countless jokes made about it already. Like,
What?
How would you compare Ben Roethlisberger and Kobe Bryant's legacy?
All right.
good players.
Did we all bring a trade to the table?
Oh, I forgot about this.
Of course
shit.
you did, Austin.
Okay, I don't have a trade. I have more of a question on why
Oh,
this guy hasn't been
God.
signed.
On what?
On why a guy hasn't been picked up.
Who?
Why haven't the Heat picked up Bynum yet? I'm actually curious.
Because they like Greg Oden.
They like how he looks when he sits on the.
Hey, he came
Oh my
back, he
God.
dunked. Did you see him dunk there?
Yeah.
Lifted up off the ground and
Why don't
slammed
they
it.
take Greg Oden and Andrew Bynum, put them in like a ring, and have them fight to the death?
I was
The
just-
winner gets to be their son. That'd be pretty awesome. I'd pay to go see that. 2 big fucking ogres with busted knees just wailing on each other.
See, I think it was stupid though for Chicago to let him go because you could trade Bates. You could convince somebody to trade for him because It sounds like he just hated Cleveland and that's why he sucks so much.
I heard a rumor, it might not be true, so don't hold me, but I think he slept with the assistant coach's wife or something.
Or
Now we're gonna be sued for defamation of character.
That's
Thank
horseshit.
you.
I said it's speculation. I don't know if it's true. They can't do
I
I
shit.
just called him an ogre. I'm pretty sure that's worse.
the 18 viewers are gonna call Bynum.
So imagine if Bynum is one of the people who actually listens to the show.
Well, since I...
What the fuck is this? And he's just like fucking the Cavs like guy's wife while he's watching the show.
Well, since I'm prepared, I actually have a trade. Tell me what you think. It's a Blazers and Rockets trade. I think Omer Ashik for Robin Lopez and CJ McCollum.
His name's Asik.
We had this argument already.
He says no to that trade actually, except that is a good one.
I like it because the fucking Rockets need to get rid of Ashik,
Yeah.
and the Blazers want a big center. He would help them immensely.
Yeah, really give them a good playoff push.
Right, and McCollum's a great young player for the Rockets too if they make that trade.
I've been thinking of one for a bit. I don't know exactly the players involved, but I think Kevin Love, Minnesota. And Kevin Love, Minnesota's not a winning formula. He's an amazing player. He has great value, and it looks like Minnesota's not going anywhere with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the record, they've been playing good as a team, but the record isn't showing it. I have like this thing in me that keeps telling me.
A cock?
It's an inner demon. Yeah, that too. That says Kevin Love's going to wind up maybe on the Boston Celtics somehow.
Like a Garnett
I think
situation.
with Rhonda. What?
Like kind of like when
For
Garnett.
what? What are they going to give him?
I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to be through a trade, because I think his contract, is it expiring this year or next year?
Starts this year, I think.
It's expiring this year,
Yeah.
so I mean they might... What?
It is expiring this year, I'm pretty sure.
It's expiring this year? I'll check that.
Because that's the whole problem. They need to decide, do they get rid of him or will he actually resign with them? And if
I don't think he will re-sign with them, because I remember he made a comment a few years ago, if this team doesn't get winning and making to the playoffs, I'm probably not going to stick around. Or something along those lines, because he hasn't made the playoffs once in his whole career.
We'll look that up quick, Dan, because we got to move on.
a lot of people,
Whether it's last year.
a lot of people think he's going to go to the Lakers
That'd be interesting.
because he's a UCLA boy.
I heard Kyrie Irving, too, which would be really weird. His contract with him through the 2016 season, so he's still a couple of years on his contract. And they might trade him with like a year left, so a team gets more value out of him.
Right.
Looks like they're just going nowhere.
I've really been thinking of shopping him around.
All right, let's talk Tanaka. He signed with the Yankees for 7 years at $155 million. He's now the 5th most expensive pitcher in MLB history and has never thrown an MLB pitch in his life.
I just want to say that we respect the Japanese of this country who are honest businessmen.
I just think it's a joke, though. Half these Japanese players don't end up being what we think they're going to be. I mean, there's been a lot of good ones, but they're never as great as they looked on tape and stuff.
Right, and this is even worse with the new posting. I mean, Darvish only got 6 years at like $60 million or something.
Well, that's the thing, and I thought it was crazy when everybody's going after you.
Right.
This guy.
Well, he has been ridiculous. I think 24-0 or something.
But how old is he though? Because that's the other thing.
25, I think.
Oh, okay. But even that, because it's 7 years and pitchers get worn out so fast.
It's true.
Does this guy have like a gyro ball or like a meatball parmesan ball or something?
I think the deal is ridiculous, but there's 2 teams I think that it would work for, and that's the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Well, yeah,
And it's because they can afford it, and they want to win a World Series, so why not?
The Yankees spent almost $500 million this offseason.
Okay, just tune me out because I know nothing about baseball. Apparently,
right.
Kevin Love is also a NASCAR driver. There's a NASCAR driver named Kevin Love. Born in Des Moines, Iowa.
What will he bring? I think
He ran 5 weight races in 2004.
if he works out, he can be huge, because having Sabathia, Tanaka, and Kuroda 1, 2, 3 as a fucking solid pitching with their new offense, with the additions of McCann, Beltran, Ellsbury, that could be a great
for
team.
Fiddlestick Racing in the
But
in the
the
67 truck.
If he doesn't work out, you're paying a guy that much money. You can't even you can't trade him to anybody else because nobody else can afford him.
It's true, but they'll just fucking pay $300 million now. That's pretty much it.
They'll just let him go and just cut the losses.
Yeah.
Love stats: 0 wins, 0 top 5, 0 top 10, 0 poles, and 969 laps, with 0 of them led.
All right, what's
Possible NFL rule changes. There have been a lot of talk around this. The NFL's changing. One thing, they're talking about adding 2 extra playoff teams. So 7 teams make it in each thing, 1 team gets a bye. What do you guys think of that?
I think the NFL's one of the better playoff formulas already. Leave it as it is.
But I think it's going to be a preemptive strike to expanding the league to like 36 teams or 34 teams, because I think they did the same thing in the early 90s. They changed it to the 6-team playoff format, and then they expanded. They added 4 teams to the league, and it made it from 28 to 32. So I think they've already announced that they're expanding the playoffs. So I think there's again a preemptive to expanding the league. So
I'm in the minority on this, but I like it. I don't see how 2 extra playoff games would be bad in any way. I love it a lot. I'm a big fan of it.
I love watching NFL playoffs. I mean, it'd be great as a viewer, like to get to watch, like you said, 2 extra games. I just think at the moment there's no need to do something that radical unless Dan's right and they are bringing teams. But even then, where are they putting teams? Toronto, London, LA?
I'd like to see the change if they decide to expand the league, and it's obvious that the next 2 franchises will probably be LA and London.
To me, it would have been awesome to see the Cardinals in the playoffs this year too, because they definitely deserved it.
Yeah, they could have made a run too.
Abolishment of the PAT. They just want to make it so you get 7 automatically. You can still go for 2, but You
No,
get 7.
I think that's stupid. Because, I mean, they say it's automatic, but how many times have we seen a guy miss an automatic extra point?
Right.
That's the best part about it, that it should be automatic, but there's always going to be that one guy who misses it.
Well,
But
there was that game Jacksonville versus New Orleans. That was really
Exactly.
funny.
the thing is, though, when this started, that field goal was much harder than it is now.
Yeah.
So I think if anything, you just move it back when you're kicking the field goal.
Well, yeah, make it like a...
35 yards.
Yeah, 35-yard field goal, 30-yard field goal. So it's not automatic. People
Yeah.
miss.
Well, actually, listen to this. There's a rumor that just came up that Carmelo Anthony is most likely to choose between Knicks and Lakers this offseason.
This
Oh,
fucking
God.
guy, Dan, he was like nitpicking yesterday on Carmelo's 62-point performance. He's like, "Wow, he should have had 70," and not even joking, like being serious. He's like, Kobe put up like 20 points in the last 5. That's nothing to do with it. He put up 62. Be happy.
I'm actually wearing my Mello jersey right now. I've yet to burn it, but fucking, I hate Carmelo Anthony. I hate him. I hate him so much.
All right.
I don't want any good things to happen to him.
Any rule changes you guys would like to see in the NFL?
Being able to challenge pass interference.
Dan?
Oh God!
Nothing.
I mean,
Good for
I
you.
think
You did your fucking research.
me?
Yeah. You had that was in the schedule. Make a rule.
I was about to fucking say it. I'm gonna say revert to like the old NFL where you could actually hit people with your heads.
Well,
That's my rule change.
My rule change is simple. Make every play reviewable. I think if Seattle scored after Bowman had recovered that, it would have been a fucking joke. Why not make every play reviewable? What's the problem?
Like, you mean like challengeable, or like they actually review every play?
No, challengeable.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It can be reviewed. Let's move on.
Everything can be reviewed.
Yeah. What? What shouldn't be reviewed?
No, I
I'm
agree.
trying to think. I mean, there's some situations that.
Like what? Give me one.
Oh, another rule I think that should be changed.
Don't change the
Fucking-
subject. Give me one.
I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my
Because there
head
is
now.
none.
Yeah, there has to be.
Then tell me.
I don't fucking know.
That doesn't make
And
sense.
another
You make no
rule I
sense.
want to be changed is the ground should be able to cause fumbles. The ground should be able to call fumbles. The play isn't over until the whistle's blown.
By the time a guy hits the ground, half the time the whistle's been blown.
It's true. The way the fucking.
No, a lot of times a guy picks it up and then the whistle's blown.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's those
Ground
cases
calls.
too, but those guys are also stupid half the time. Well, I mean, they just go.
If you lose the ball, you lose the ball. It shouldn't matter if the ground caused it or if the player caused it. I know the NFL used to have that rule.
Let's
The
move
ground
on.
caused fumbles.
John Tortorella suspended, 15 days for going after the Flames coach in the locker room.
Is that a type of pasta?
I thought it was entertaining and great. If you're gonna let the players fight, why can't the coaches fight? I don't understand that.
Why didn't the Flames coach get a 15-day suspension? He put out his fighting line.
It's true.
Tortorella lost 3-4 guys within 2 seconds.
I think Joseph Tortellini should definitely have beaten the shit out of that other coach. They should have just fought on the ice with him.
But, I just thought it was stupid, because I think Sherry was talking about it too. Just the guy's clearly putting out his fighting line, so why isn't he getting in trouble?
I actually watched that live, and when I saw Tortorella going after the Flames, it was the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Why didn't they fight on the ice though? That would have been pretty funny.
Because the other coach didn't want to fight.
Fuck him, he's a pussy.
Who suspended him though? Was it Shanahan or was it?
I have no idea.
That's the thing. Who suspends the coach?
Coach, yeah.
Yeah. Who is that? I can only see Bettman having that right. Really.
Yeah. All right. Look who just came in. Richard Sherman is here for an interview. Hey, Richard Sherman, what's going on?
I'm a big quarterback in the league!
Excuse me?
I'm the best, man.
Alright.
Got nothing out of it.
Let me ask you, what is it that has given you the power to become the self-proclaimed best cornerback in the league?
I'm 25 years old in life, and I'm better at life than you. I'm a better quarterback than you? You say I'm not the best quarterback in the league? Okay, suit up against me. Let's go. One-on-one quarterbacking.
What was the feeling when you batted down that ball?
It was like a chariot of angels came down from the heavens, and they lifted me up high enough so I could fucking bat down that shit.
What were those post-game comments all about?
Huh? Which ones?
With Aaron Andrews.
What other ones do you think? How much Adderall
You have to cut it now. You have to cut it now for a
How
second.
much Adderall's in your cereal?
You have to cut it out for a second.
Alright, can I start again?
That was a horrible invitation.
What are you doing?
My roommate's in here.
Is he black?
I'm impersonating Richard Sherman from the game.
Kick that fucker out.
How weird does he think you are because you're talking to two guys online?
I think he thinks I'm pretty weird. How weird do you think I am? Oh, he says not weird at all, which it's hard to believe, but...
Is he gone?
Nah, he's not.
Go. Can we start?
Does he want to give his opinion?
Yeah. Put him
Do
on.
you want to try to do a Richard Sherman? Me? Yeah. Dude, just talk really black.
Oh my god.
Huh? Go for it, come on. What? Go for it, come on. They're gonna ask you questions. You're gonna answer them.
Fuck you, Dan.
Alright, he's doing Richard Sherman now.
Hey Richard, what were those post-game comments all about?
Man, you don't even know, man. You know, you see my tapes on TV. Y'all can't even see. I'm the best quarterback in the fucking league.
He's way better than you, Dan.
Oh my god. That's all he's got.
Alright, but Dan, you go back on.
That was way better than you, though.
Way better.
Yeah, because he's like half black.
Alright. You back?
Really, he's like African. He's African American.
Rich.
One sec, I'm looking up something.
What do you mean? We're in the middle of a podcast.
I thought I had this up, but it wasn't.
That's too bad. Just fucking Richard.
Just cut it. Just cut
Yeah,
the
we'll
bit.
cut it, but he's being ridiculous.
Just cut the bit. There's no point.
No, keep going. It's good.
Alright. So Rich, recently you said calling a black guy a thug was the same as calling him a nigger. Do you prefer being called a thug or a nigger?
I believe my numbers speak for themselves. My tape speaks for itself. My tape is my resume. That's what I leave up to. You can say whatever you want.
I think to celebrate this interview, you and Dan should sing a song at the same time.
Sing a song at the same time?
Both of you, yeah. Pick a song.
Oh, you mean that Jew with the gimp leg?
Yeah, him. Both of you sing at the same time.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I.
That just sounds like one of you singing. I
No,
want to
sing
hear
at the
both.
same time. Though.
Oh, it's just so.
We got
sync?
great harmony together.
Okay. Well, we're hearing you have to go, Richard Sherman.
Wait, go where?
Go away.
Man, fuck you.
Alright. Goodbye.
Yeah, I got some more breaking sports news.
What's that?
The Miami Heat have supposedly banned the Biebs from attending basketball games.
The who?
Bieber.
Oh, Beeps.
That's great.
Didn't he try to like shank someone or something?
Okay, who cares?
Alright,
That
let's.
was horrible.
That was
That was
bad.
awful. I don't know why you put me up to that.
I don't know. Your Stephen A was good. Your Richard Sherman stunk.
Dude, I don't know. I can't do. I was trying not to be very loud because.
You should have just done Stephen A again. Alright.
Well, I don't even know how I did that.
We're doing a game now called Quotes. I've picked up.
Wow,
10
what a genius name for a segment.
Thank you. I picked up 10 quotes, some of which I wrote, some of which are actual quotes from athletes, and Dan and Austen are going to go head to head so you can guess the most right. Alright?
Alright.
So the first quote, I owe a lot to my parents, especially my mother and father. Was that me, or was that an athlete?
You would never say something like that, but I'm feeling you're trying to trick us.
Yeah, that's
Well, no, it would be one that I wrote specifically for this
Yeah.
segment.
Oh, okay.
I owe a lot to my parents, especially my mother and father.
Oh, no athlete has both the mother and father. It has to be you.
Austin?
I would say athlete just because he's like, who else are your parents?
Yeah, it was an Australian golfer, Greg Norman. I owe a lot to my parents, especially my mother and father.
What kind of athlete has two parents?
I don't know.
Golfers,
Alright,
of course.
here's the next quote. So Austin's up 1-0. Anytime Detroit scores more than 100 points and holds the other team below 100 points, they almost always win.
That's an athlete.
Austin?
I'll go
Well, it
athlete.
wouldn't have to be an athlete, it has to be
Okay,
someone in the
sports
sport industry.
figure.
Sports figure? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're both right. It's NBA coach Doug Collins.
I heard that one before.
Okay, so 2-1 for Austen. Next quote. To beat the best, you have to beat the best.
Are these gonna be all sports figures, and you're gonna like try to trick us or something?
I gotta assume that's another athlete.
I'm gonna say it's not an athlete.
Dan's right. I wrote that.
That's a good one though. That's
2-2.
like someone saying.
All right. Chemistry is a class you take in high school or college where you figure out +2 is 10 or something.
That's you.
Austen?
I'll take athlete.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman.
What?
Yeah, 3-2 Austen.
God, I wish he still was in the league. I love Dennis Rodman.
What makes a team successful is their success.
Athlete.
Austen?
Oh, you.
It was me.
Fuck. I'm gonna lose.
4-2.
I've already lost.
4-2 for Austen. Few left. When you play in Cleveland, you're more worried about being raped or shot than winning or losing.
Austin, you have to go first.
Yeah, I'll say athlete.
I say you.
It was me. 4-3 for Austen. Next. We're not attempting to circumcise rules.
That was an athlete.
Athlete, for sure.
Yep, that was Bill Cower.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really an athlete.
We said sports
Circumcise
figure,
rules.
or
Can you circumcise rules?
I've had to overcome a lot of diversity.
I know you could circumcise a clitoris.
I'll say athlete.
I've
Dan?
always had to overcome diversity as an athlete.
Yeah, you're both right. So what is it now, 5-4 for
Yeah.
Austen?
We're doing pretty well.
2 left. If you want to score goals, you have to put the puck in the net.
Athlete.
Dan?
You.
It was me. We got a tie game going into the last
quote.
question.
Oh my god.
This isn't rigged.
You ready?
Yeah.
When you get that nice celebration coming into the dugout and you're getting your ass hammered by guys, there's no better feeling than to have that done.
Athlete.
You both say athlete?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Matt Stairs. So you tie. I do have one tiebreaker, just in case.
Okay.
People say I'm a rapist and a recluse. I'm not a recluse.
Athlete. You have to do with his quote.
I'll say you then, just so we can see who wins.
It was Mike Tyson. Dan wins.
Yes!
What a comeback.
I might eat his children.
I just might as well go for the win.
Right. Alright. Now we have a segment called Fuck You. Pick someone in the sports industry to say fuck you to and give a reason. You have up to a minute to do it. Austen, you go first.
Alright, mine's a tie. I got Bill Belichick.
Way to
and
follow the rules. Pick one person.
And the voters. All the voters for the NBA All-Star game because they're a bunch of idiots.
Alright.
And Bill,
I voted for the NBA All-Star
and Bill Belichick just because he was the one who got rid of Wes Welker, so he should be pissed at himself that happened. Wes Welker could have knocked out a Denver cornerback, and that's his fault.
Okay.
Did they offer him like a really shitty contract or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Okay, Dan, you can go.
Dan, who are you saying fuck
Fuck you, Joe Buck. You make watching football fucking miserable. Fucking awful monotone voice.
Monotone.
I hate your guts, your little smirk. Hey, I'm so happy all the time. Yeah. I hate you. The only reason I watch football is because it's the greatest sport on earth and not because of your lazy, fucking, awful broadcasting skills.
Not to mention when he's partnered up with Aikman.
Right, that's
Oh,
the
God.
and that's the
And
Super
that's
Bowl.
the Super
You excited?
Bowl. So excited.
I'm kind of going the same route as Dan, except Erin Andrews. Fuck Erin Andrews. She's a middling attractive cunt that acts like she's amazing at her job and extremely hot. She acted like she did something in that Richard Sherman interview. Your only contribution was saying, "Who says things about you, you dumb whore?" Fuck you, Erin Andrews.
Who was that lady who broadcasted who did the Pitt versus Syracuse game? Because she was horrendous. Who was that?
No one watches Pitt besides you, Dan. Yeah.
You watched the game. What are you talking
I
about?
watched the last 3 minutes
Yeah, but
because you
heard
told
the
me
announcer.
to.
She was awful.
I don't know her name. Who cares?
She was just awful.
All women reporters are awful.
Joe Buck, I would still rather hear them than Joe Buck.
There's not one good woman in sports.
I'd rather like douse my eyes with hydrochloric acid than listen to Joe Buck.
All right, we have Anthony Bennett watch going on. Anthony Bennett having a terrific rookie season, so we're going to keep a watch on his stats every week, and Austin will provide his game logs for the week.
Record breaking.
Record breaking. This guy
He's averaging 2.4 points a game and has 77 points total. That is only what?
What's he shooting from the field?
That's 15 more points than Carmelo had in one game. He's the reason Wiggins will not get drafted first overall, and no Canadian will ever be touched.
Yeah, no one trusts Canadian.
Yeah,
What is he shooting from the field?
I think it was like.
That's the most exciting part. The fuck's
I think it's between 19 to 24%. I think.
Wow, that's up from like 12%.
Yeah,
this
wow.
season. Holy shit.
He's improving, and
he gets those really high percentage shots right under the basket.
You don't know that. His stat line, like what? Yeah, it's 25%.
okay, wow, 25%. Hey, that's one of every 4.
He's
That's better than I could do.
1.43 3-point percentage.
I'm 5'4". That's like a lot better than what I could do under the basket.
Yeah, well, he's 6'8".
And a professional basketball player.
Are you saying that height is an advantage in professional basketball? Imagine if I was 6'8".
You'd just be the same person except tall.
I actually can't believe he hasn't been sent to the D League. That's the most shocking part. They really.
No, he wasn't he?
I thought he was, but supposedly, well, he got brought back up at least. Like.
I know he was saying they were saying he should, but I don't know if he did.
I don't think he ever went down there.
The shitty part is he was like one of the top players coming out of high school, and he had a pretty fucking good season for UNLV.
Yeah, he had a 53% field goal percentage.
That's why we take it first. All right, let's end with the figure
Why
we
do you
always
think
end.
players like him don't make it, but then players like Michael Carter Williams do? It doesn't make sense to me, really.
Me neither. It's just
Well, Carter Williams was good though in college too.
a lot of turnovers and
very
then
well
shoot
from the
very well.
field, and he had a lot of turnovers. Yeah,
Really improved that.
he had potential, but so does Bennett.
I mean, he was drafted 11th.
Yeah. Same with Lillard. He was 6th.
Right.
And he's like a fucking monster.
Yeah. So let's end with the figure we always end with, the Skip Bayless tweet of the week. Dan, take it away.
All right, I have to go to my Twitter account. One sec.
Oh my god.
I don't think he had a lot of good tweets this week, because I read every single one of his tweets this week, and they weren't that great.
There must have been one. Okay, well.
There was one that was actually a good tweet. Should I read the actually
No.
good tweet one?
Didn't he have one saying Paul George is MVP or something?
Dan, you single-handedly fucked up your only segment.
You
guys are putting
stink.
so much pressure on me.
You stink.
I am pretty bad.
Even I did better than you.
To be fair, I didn't prepare it last time. I was just like more prepared when the shit came on my table. The shit came on my table. The one that he just posted is pretty funny.
Alright, what
Read
is
it.
it?
Okay, I like this one. Tanaka will put the Yankees back on the maps and in the playoffs. Start spreading the news.
You suck.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think I'm still better than Austen.
We might come back and keep it as two retards arguing about sports. It'll just be a different retard.
I think I had the funniest comments today, though. You guys were pretty boring.
I love the silence when silence follows anything Dan says. It's terrific.
Now, what do I... Oh, no, that one about Kevin Durant earlier in the week was pretty good.
Well,
Kevin Durant owes his team more than 1 point in the fourth quarter versus Portland tonight, but he spelled tonight wrong. What you scored last time Blazers visited? That doesn't even make sense.
Alright, Dan. You're fired.
Alright. We're done.
Alright.
Bye.